So you want a luxury car that provides comfort, reliability, and it's decently quick, but you also don't want to go blow the bank, or you don't want to worry about expenses that other cars such as maybe BMW and Mercedes may be the consequence of when you buy them, you know, as used or older. So you start looking at Japanese offerings. So you have the Lexuses, the ES, then you start looking at maybe Infiniti. Infiniti has been around for, I want to say, about the last 30 years here in the United States. Infiniti, if you guys don't know what it is, it's basically Nissan's luxury brand. Think about it as Lexus is to Toyota, and as, I don't know, Rolls-Royce, I guess, is to BMW, because BMW does own Rolls-Royce, but that's not really a good comparison. But you guys get what I mean. This is basically Lexus's, or this is basically Toyota's Lexus, if that makes any sense. Nissan is the parent company, Infiniti is their US luxury brand. So this specifically is a 2014 Infiniti Q50. So the Q50 line, don't get it confused, is basically the successor to the G series line. So we had things like the original G35, and then the G37, and then this. So this is officially the successor to the G37. This thing, or this at least this model, debuted in the US in the 2014, for the 2014 model year. And I was actually surprised enough to see, because I didn't know this still sports the VQ37 motor. I thought that once they went to the Q50s, they all started using the VQ30, the twin turbo V6. But surprisingly enough, after doing some research, the first two model years of this car, 14 and 15, your engine option was either the VQ35 or a hybrid 3.5. So that's kind of weird. That's a little interesting fact I didn't know, but I guess you learn something new every day. But yeah, so this specific one, as I said, is a 2014, so it's the first model year of the Q50, and this one is a weird spec, but that also means I like it, because I like weird specs. So you have this really cool looking brown exterior with a tan slash brown blackish match. I'll show you guys when we get there, but I really like this color. It is a nice color. It kind of gives off like bronze hues in certain aspects and certain lights, so it's definitely different. It's not, you know, it's not anything like, let's say, just a white one or a black one. This is definitely something to make you stand out. So yeah, and because it's the Q50 means that it's sort of the mid-level, I guess, Infiniti you could call it. So this one is definitely obviously a lot bigger than the previous G35s and 37s, because obviously, you know, as cars, newer cars have started to get bigger, so this one is a little bit bigger, but we'll talk about them when we get inside. But yeah, it is a good looking car. I do like the way it's styled. I am a fan of these newer Infiniti front ends. It looks pretty aggressive, and I do like those. So these are daytime running lights. So when you have the car on, these are daytime running lights. So they look really good. And yeah, honestly, I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at that interior, and let me show you guys what it looks like. So because this is a Q50 Premium, it does have most of the options that you could have got. And one of those is being that, of course, you have Infiniti's basic key. These are also Nissan keys, so nothing special, but you can get in the car, you know, obviously unlocking it with the key or locking it, but you can also do this. So if you come up to the car with the key in your pocket or wherever you want to keep it, all you have to do is put your hand behind the door handle and it unlocks the car. Vice versa, if you want to lock it, you just push that button and it locks the car. So looking inside, as I told you guys, this brown is definitely a weird bronzish colorish, but it's complemented really well by this, I don't want to say tan, but it's like a beige tan with black interior. So it looks really good, and it complements the brown very nice. It's sort of a, I don't want to stereotype it, but it's sort of an old man spec, but it's cool. I like it. So hopping in it, it is a comfortable car. These seats are very comfortable, and let's go ahead and fire it up because it's kind of hot. So Nissan's pretty basic 3.7 liter VQ37. That's what you hear automatically. And the first thing with the Q50s that you notice is that these have double screen. So let me close this door and I'll show you guys what I mean. So it is a pretty solid door. It sounds good. The biggest thing I've always had with Infinitis is just kind of the quality. It's not the best, but it's also not bad. So it is a decent interior, and especially for the price you could get these cars now, it's a nice interior. So double screen, what do I mean? Up here you have the nav. That's always going to be the nav, and then this is basically how you control everything. So you could go from You could do your nav stuff up here. You have all your apps. If you click menu, it'll lead you back here. You can also click audio. It'll take you to the radio screen. I guess it's loading. Come on, there it is. So that's the audio screen. You can control this one, Sirius XM. You also have FM, obviously AM, disc, iPod, and Bluetooth. You can connect Bluetooth to it and listen to music that way. You also click this, that's for your climate. You can adjust it if you want to have the heated seats on or off. This one does not have cooled seats, but it does have the heated seats option, so that's good if you live in a colder climate. So it is a decently responsive system. It's not the quickest thing, but it's also not slow. It's not horrible. It's not as quick as the newer ones, but it's nice. You also have this Infiniti drive mode selector, so if you want to be sporty or comfort or eco or whatever, that's your options right there. So yeah, it's cool. You also have this, it's funny enough, for this kind of older spec car, you also have a driving performance. You can see your fuel flow, how it goes. You have fuel consumption, fuel economy. If we move on, you also have the G meter. That's funny. Fuel consumption, G-force. That, honestly, this is pretty funny. But yeah, you guys get it. Down here, we also have a lot of, you have your heated seat stuff. You have an ashtray down here. And the climate control buttons, while there's nothing here, they're right here. So you can move your, you can adjust your, you know, if you want your temperature up or down. From here, you have your vent speeds. You have to select whether you want it from here or the bottom. Funny enough, there's actually not one for up there because there's a massive speaker, because this car does have the Bose premium sound. So this whole thing up here is a speaker and it sounds really good. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you guys because copyright, but you guys get the idea. So moving on down, we have a pretty typical, this is the same shifter they used in the G37, so nothing really updated. But yeah, this right here is a controller for the map, so you can control your Navi map from up there. You can map voice, you could input directions, you can switch it between daytime and nighttime, back button, and then confirmation. That's it. Drive mode selector, so if you push it, let's say you want it in sport, it obviously is standard. You have eco, snow mode. Sport obviously is the one you want to keep it in, makes it the throttle more responsive, shifts are held a little bit longer. Overall, a nicer package. So here you have some storage with some USB outlets. You have cup holders, and honestly, that's pretty much it. Up there, you have a couple of nice gauges, temp gauge, fuel gauge, and then your middle one, which could tell you fuel economy and anything. You can set it up with these buttons right here. So you can switch between fuel economy, compass, the radios, tire pressures, warnings, or range or anything. So it's nice. It's pretty good. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty basic interior. Honestly, in my opinion, they just took the G37 and just kind of enhanced it, if that makes any sense. They put two screens in, and they removed all the buttons that were on the G37 center console, and they kind of just made it a little bit more flushed out. It's nice, not bad. But let's go ahead and move to the back seat so I can show you guys my biggest complaint with this. Well, here's the biggest complaint I have for this car. These back seats do not offer much room. So they're very comfortable, honestly, very soft, very comfortable seats, but so me being 6 feet tall, I mean, I have that much leg room, so not much, and headroom's all right. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not the best either. Honestly, for this, this could be fine. I was just discussing it with a fellow coworker, but it could be fine for probably in-city driving, but I would definitely not take this car on a long road trip and put people back here, especially like if you're taller in the front, the driver, obviously you want to be most comfortable as the driver, because this could get tiresome. You can't really stretch out, even with the door closed. I mean, you could do that, I guess. So it's not horrible, but it's also not the best. And of course, I mean, this is a smaller level car, so it's not as big as, like, let's say the BMW 7 Series or anything like that. So yeah, pretty nice. You have an ashtray right there. You have some cup holders here, which is nice. And then that's for the trunk. So it's a ski thing. So if you have skis or whatnot. So that's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and check out that motor. And let me tell you guys why the VQ37 is actually pretty good. So here it is. You guys know it. A lot of people love them. This is Nissan's VQ37, so 3.7 liter naturally aspirated V6. And as I said, I was really shocked when I found out this thing had this, because I thought as soon as the G37's life was ended and we had the Q50, I thought they went to a twin turbo, but then I did some research. So yeah, This for the first two model years, so Q50 14 and 15, this was one of the engine options, as well as a 3.5 liter hybrid V6. I have driven the hybrid and I don't like it. It's very laggy. It takes forever when you kind of push the throttle to get moving. I don't know if that was just specifically that car or if they're all like that, but I wasn't a fan. So I would definitely go with the G37 for sure. Or not the G37, excuse me, the VQ37. But this got introduced in the G37 back in 08, 09, 09. Yep, 09. That's when they introduced this motor. It's basically a reiteration of the VQ35. So it's essentially kind of the same motor, just a little bit higher displacement. Some stuff has been changed. But overall, this one in this car specifically makes 328 horsepower and about 269 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty good. It's a pretty healthy amount. The car definitely gets up and moves very well. And honestly, there's not much you could really ask from that. I mean, they have a, you know, the VQ37 has an extensive, and I mean extensive, aftermarket scene. So they have supercharger kits, turbos, pro chargers. I mean, at that point, if you're doing that, that's, you know, no longer really going to be a daily because it's modified to, you know, to hell. But overall, there's a big aftermarket scene with these. You could do a nice exhaust intake or something. So yeah, but overall, let me know what you guys think. Are you a fan of the Q50, or do you think that they've overplayed the G, or I keep saying the G, excuse me, the VQ37 motor? Because while yeah, it is at this point, like let's say it's 2014 with this car, it has been out for a while and it's basically the same motor as a VQ35, which came out in like 03. So yeah, it's been a while, but then again, you can also make the argument of why change it when it's not broken, right? Why reinvent the wheel? This is a solid motor. It's reliable. It gets good gas mileage. It's decently powerful. For daily driving, it's a pretty good setup. The powertrain's pretty good. But you guys let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and let me know about the Q50. Are you buying a Q50, or do you think you prefer maybe the G37, or maybe even its competitors like the Mercedes? I think the C-Class compared, yeah, maybe a Mercedes C-Class or something. You guys let me know. I'd love to hear it. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.